So we're all aware of the recent tragedy that happened on the 14th at Stoneman Douglas High School. Nicholas Cruz opened fired and killed 17 students. Um, what we're really trying to figure out, and I guess society is trying to figure out, is this a mental health problem or is this a gun-related problem? Um,
So yeah, the gun he used was an AR-15, which is a pretty commonly known rifle. And then a lot of the students at the school and former classmates of his said it was weird. They were having conversations. They were talking like, yeah, Nicholas Cruz was the type of kid that you would guess would do something like this. Um, the police have been to his house, he said, like numerous times before. He had videos on Snapchat of him cutting himself. And so they kind of knew something was going on. So something's definitely like off with this kid. Of course, no one who's perfectly sane is going to go shoot up a high school. And so that's why, do you guys think this is a gun issue and the fact that he got an AR-15, or is this more of a mental health issue, or is it a combination of the two? So really like kind of what we want to break down is a bit of the mental health side of things, and just the reason that we chose this news event, not only because it's so big, but it has to do with school, campuses, as well as mental health. And that's kind of what we want to go with the video series. And so the gun debate's pretty well known. Like, you have people who say Second Amendment, like we have a right to guns. And then there's the other side of saying, like, why does anyone need an AR-15? How did this kid get access to this rifle? And of course there's issues on that side as well. But we really want to open up the conversation around mental health because it's something that is so stigmatized in our society and something you're not supposed to talk about, or people are afraid to talk about it. And so this conversation is going to be about mental illness on campuses of kind of college specifically, and also just in our lives.
And kind of how we arrived there is both Nick and I have suffered from various degrees of mental illness. Whether that be anxiety, whether that be depression. We've both experienced it, and we both really want to try to bring to light that sort of stigma that's associated around it. Should we start like stats or something? Or?
Yeah, I mean, so Nicholas Cruz was 19 years old. And so it's interesting because 18 to 25-year-olds are actually the age group that are most likely to have any form of mental illness. And so, of course, he falls into that. Harlan and I also both fall into that. The exact percentage is actually 22.1%. So that's almost a quarter of everyone in that age group. And if you look more specifically, like, we're both in college. And Statista, which is a big database, they let us know that 1 in 4, actually that's not from Statista. Where's that from? That's actually good that just rang, because that's going to be cut out now. So, we found the statistics online from a very reputable source that I'll link below or something, that 80% of college students feel overwhelmed by their responsibilities. If you're in college, you're probably going to agree with that statement. But that actually contributes to 1 in 4 college students have a diagnosable mental illness. And so if you are in college, or you went through it, or even I'm sure this translates pretty well to high school, how many of your friends do you think like have a mental illness, or like do you have one yourself, whether it's depression or anxiety of like any level? And if you do and you think like you're alone, like think about the fact that it's like 1 in 4, because like, yeah, like I've had depression and anxiety and stuff, and then like I was friends with Harlan for like 5 or 6 months before like I had any clue he had any form of like depression or anxiety. And like honestly, once you know about each other, it makes the conversation like not just easier, but it's like a conversation you want to have more often too. It feels like you can open up to someone more.
Yeah, I mean, it breaks down a lot of barriers. Just kind of talking about your sort of mental illnesses, or really sort of any problems with your friends, your close friends. It really it makes it easier to not only talk to them, but talk about kind of tough subjects. And really what we're trying to do with this whole vlog, I guess, is really bring to light and really bring those conversations forward.
Yeah, because a lot of these like mental health statistics that are coming out, not just within our generation of millennials or anything, but the facts around mental illness, and like we're in Northeast Ohio, and right now there's such an epidemic because there was 3 kids who graduated from the same high school or were in high school who committed suicide within a short time frame of each other, and it's an issue that really needs to be addressed. And like if you have a mental illness, you're 4 times as likely to abuse alcohol, 5 times as likely to abuse other kind of substances. And so it's something that we want to create this to make it easier for other people to feel like they can open up about their mental illness or talk to people, because one of the top reasons that people don't seek help is because they're afraid of what other people are going to think of them, just the inconvenience of it. They're afraid of going to the doctor, the cost of it, and especially in college, like you just don't have that conversation. And it's something that it really needs to be talked about.
And really back to the whole sort of, I guess, drugs and alcohol thing. Myself personally, when I was a sophomore, when I was a junior, I would really sort of depend mainly on alcohol, really to kind of get me through. And when I wasn't, drinking or doing anything else, I really sort of had that sort of just overbearing sort of depression. I just depended so much on, substances and alcohol, and it really made it worse. And it's just so prevalent in, colleges and universities that it's something that certainly needs to be addressed.
Yeah, and it's interesting too, and it's been something that's kind of been talked a lot more about recently, partially because social media. Just like the tragic event that we talked about, things are in the news more because we have social media more, something we can all go to Facebook and talk about. But also like social media, if you look at it, and the platforms themselves don't cause mental illness, they don't cause depression. It's actually the content that we're posting. There's statistics showing that the type of content that you are going to look at on Facebook is going to make you more aware of stressful events, that then can translate into your life. And like you can't say that this is like a direct cause or anything, but in 2011, that was the year Snapchat was released. In that year to now, depression and mental illness in females has gone up by like 50% from 2011. It was like 12% that I have here, and then it went up almost 50% to 2017. Fuck, why can't I find that? Here we go. Nope. I don't know where that is. Mm-hmm. Here it is. Okay, found it. So, this is for 12 to 17-year-olds. So back in 2004, the females with major depressive episodes was at 13.1%. So from 2004 to 2011, it actually went down to 12.1%. 2011 was the launch of Snapchat. I mean, just a lot of social medias in general were getting a lot more popular around that time. And then fast forward to 2016, it was now at 19.4%. So in that 5-year time span, that's over a 50% growth from 12.1% to 19.4%. Males were also steady from 2004 to 2011, go 2011, 2016, and again, increased by about 30%. And so social media is another big thing that's contributing to this as well.
And I mean, as Nick clearly stated, there's this general trend upwards of, or just people getting mental illness, and we're trying to figure out what really is the root cause of that. I feel like there definitely, or we feel like there needs to be direct intervention, whether it be, governmental programs, whether it be just individuals or whatnot. But I mean, it's something that needs to be addressed. It's something that needs to be brought to the light, and we want people to feel comfortable in sort of talking about this.
What else can we go into?
I don't know. Let's just make the first one a short one. We'll just be like, so this is basically just the intro. We want to get you guys familiar with what we're doing. And, in the future, we're going to come with, the current events, news events, and stuff like that regarding the mental health sort of issue. And again, give us your thoughts, your feedback. What do you think? And stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, guys, this is we just wanted to basically make an intro video, basically describe what we're doing, what is to come. We really want to start, like we said, we want to bring to light that whole mental health issue. We want to make it not an issue. We want to make it, it's okay to not be okay. We really want people to come forward and, be really okay with, talking about it. Because I think one of the first steps that, needs to be taken is we need to talk about it. Like with mental health, it's like so many people just want to keep it to themselves. They think it's sort of just like a pervasive sort of just something that they just don't want to bring up. So what we're really trying to do with this sort of series is we're trying to bring that to light. We want to talk about it. We want to hear your thoughts. We want to hear your comments. Again, this is just an intro. So in the future, we'll be giving you sort of current events associated around the mental health kind of area, and just an open forum between Nick and I, kind of discussing what it's like. As we're seniors, so we're about to jump into like the real sort of workforce. So there's definitely a lot of anxiety and depression sort of associated around that. So. We'll be keeping you guys up to date in our lives, and we want to hear, about your lives as well. So definitely give a comment, share, sort of, just really, really talk about whatever. So, that's just kind of how we want to structure it. Short video to begin with, but we'll definitely be, giving you guys some really good content in the future.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be uploading on a pretty weekly basis, maybe every once in a while, a little bit more than that if like something big happens. Or again, like we're in college, and so we're also here to talk about college life, whether you're a soon-to-be freshman or if you're a graduating senior. We're just about college tips, just stuff that happens around college, and kind of how it translates into this mental health aspect as well. But that's pretty much all we have for you guys. So thanks for watching, and we'll be back soon.